People often ask me whether retiring to rural Thailand was the best decision I ever made. And after living here for 15 years, I can finally answer honestly. There are things I absolutely love, but there are a few things that have surprised me. The plot of land that we decided to build our house on was given to us by the grandparents. The village is 1 kilometre away, so it's close enough for the grandparents to go backwards and forwards, but it's far enough away so we've got our own privacy. So this video I'm going to do, it's not going to be a guide telling you what you should, what you shouldn't do when you retire in Thailand. It's more about my life story, about how I have found living here in Thailand, more specifically in the rural Thailand. So I'll talk about the things that I enjoy, things that I love, but there are also things that can be quite annoying and frustrating. So I will include all the good and the bad. And some things that are interesting. So let's start with the positives. What made this such a great place to retire? For me, first and foremost, it's the peace and quiet. Coming from the UK, I'd become used to the constant noise and busyness of everyday life. Here in rural Thailand, life moves at such a much slower pace. There are no noisy neighbours arguing next door, no traffic jams, no stressful commute. Instead, I wake up to birds singing, watch the sunrise with a cup of coffee on the balcony, and enjoy the peace that surrounds us. Every morning, I take my boys to school, and the journey takes about 15 minutes each way. It's a relaxed drive through the countryside with very little traffic, and it's a great way to start the day. When I get home, there's no rush. I can spend the day working on one of my DIY projects, looking after the garden, or just enjoy being outdoors. For me, that's what retirement should feel like. Another important plus for me is the cost of living here in Thailand, and more importantly, how my perspective on money and material things has changed since I arrived here. Back in the UK, it often felt like there was pressure to keep up with everyone else. Whether it was a newer car or bigger television or the latest gadget, it was easy to spend money on things you wanted rather than things that you actually needed. Credit was readily available too, so it was so tempting to buy now and worry about it later. When I first arrived here 15 years ago, one of the first things I noticed was just how much further my money went. Everyday essentials were far more affordable, and because my lifestyle became much more simple, I found myself spending less while actually enjoying life more. Most of the things that I buy now are for practical reasons, not to impress anyone. Whether it's tools for a DIY project, or materials for the house, or even something for the garden, I know it's going to be used. Interestingly, I don't feel like I've actually given anything up. In many ways, I feel more richer than I did back then. Not because of possessions I have, but because I feel I have more time, more freedom, and I'm financially stress-free. With the freedom that I have now, I can make every day my own. If I decide I want to start a new project around the house, I can. I can take my time, work at my own pace and source materials locally while keeping an eye on our budget. When I was working full-time, it often felt like there just weren't enough hours in the day, and like many people, I spent my weekdays working and often my weekends catching up or just trying to make ends meet. Retirement has given me something even more valuable than money, and that is time. Time to spend with my family, doing activities together, playing games and visiting places that we enjoy. We all love being outdoors, so whenever we get the chance, we'll head off to the mountains or explore a forest or spend time at the beach. There are still many beautiful places all around Thailand that we haven't visited yet. But now I'm retired, I have the time and the freedom that we can all go together as a family and explore what Thailand has to offer. Now, as much as I have enjoyed living here, nowhere is perfect. There are a few things that I've had to consider when deciding to retire here in rural Thailand. Now, the first is location. Now, for me, I love the location because it's peaceful and it's quiet, but it can be inconvenient. For example, if I need to see a specialist at a hospital, then we're looking at a 2-hour journey to either Khon Kaen or Nakhon Ratchasima. Fortunately, my health is pretty good, and it has been pretty good for the last 15 years. But it's something I have to consider. If I need to make regular visits to a hospital, I'm looking at a 2-hour journey. If I need to go to the airport, maybe to meet some friends, family, or to travel myself, then that's a 5-hour journey. If we decide we want to go to a beach, have a beach holiday, we're looking at a 7-hour journey. If we want to go to a mountain, the nice campsites in the mountains, which are some beautiful campsites, but we're looking at a 3-hour journey. There is a local waterfall, Chayapum, we can go to, which is 1 hour away. But overall, living in rural Thailand can be a little bit inconvenient sometimes. Another downside, which is something I spoke about in previous videos, is the air quality at certain times of the year. So during the burning season, when they burn the sugarcane, the air can become quite smoky. If they are burning nearby, we will either go out or visit somewhere, or just stay indoors with the doors and windows closed. But fortunately, it doesn't last all year, and when they're burning nearby, it only lasts maybe an hour or 2. But it's something that anyone thinking of retiring to rural Thailand must consider. So my third downside to living in rural Thailand is you are so close to nature, you're sharing it with all the wildlife that lives here. So most of the time it's just harmless things. We get a lot of geckos, which don't do any harm. I've got nothing against geckos apart from the mess that they leave. But we got a big problem with ants. We get swarms of ants all around our house. If you leave food out just for a few minutes, and we got ants all over the place. And another problem we've been having just recently is the flying termites. Over the last few days, we've had termites almost every day, and they just come across into the lights and then die, which is a problem having to sweep up. But the problem is, when they die, we get lots of more ants who want to eat the termites. So that's one of the problems that you'll have to think about when you retire to rural Thailand. Now, every now and again, you might come across something that could harm you. So, me living here, I have seen centipedes, which can give you a very nasty bite. I've seen scorpions, which can give you a nasty sting. There have been bees, although I haven't had any bad experiences with bees. We do get some spiders that can bite you, although I don't see them that often. And I have seen a few snakes, not any really poisonous snakes, but I have seen quite a few snakes on our land. So these are things that you have to be aware of. So when I'm picking up old pieces of wood on the floor, I check, make sure there's no scorpions or spiders or something that can hurt me. When I'm putting on my shoes, I will check inside, make sure there's nothing inside there. I have put them on before and found frogs inside my shoes. So I always check before I put on my shoes. I don't walk around the land without shoes on, because there are so many things that can bite you. So these are just things that you have to be aware of, that there are things that could possibly hurt you. So the interesting things are that living out here, you're surrounded by nature, all to yourself, nobody to bother you. The land out here is very fertile, so if you want to grow your own fruit and vegetables, it's very easy. Papaya is very easy to grow, bananas, coconut trees, the mangoes, there's all sorts of fruits that the grandparents grow and vegetables. So if you're a gardener, then rural Thailand is a place for you. So, after living here for the last 15 years, would I make the same decision again? Without hesitation, yes. So, has everything been perfect? Of course not. Every country has their challenges, and Thailand is no exception. But when I look back over the last 15 years, the peace and quiet, the freedom, the lower cost of living, and most importantly, the time I've been able to spend with my family have far outweighed the few negatives. Retirement isn't the end of the adventure, it's simply the time to enjoy what you have.